Welcome back, everybody. Time for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and today I'm going to go with a custom battle that was sent in to me by Richelieu over on Discord, and I'm just going to read to you what he says, and then we're going to get into designing our battleship. He said the date is 1939 and Europe edges toward war. The United States, wary of European aggression and eager to make its own contribution to the Anglo-European arms race, creates a battleship of unprecedented power and size. Other European nations respond with their own modern warships, but cannot match the U.S. battleship's single-ship power. In order to exploit this opportunity, the Americans send 3 ships of the class to Germany for a show of force. Things don't go to plan. You, only a mere commodore with no combat experience, stumble straight into the main German naval force, a powerful entity but outdated entity, with only your 3-ship task force and a few cruisers to back you up. The Germans are angry and spiteful about Versailles, and a point-blank shootout ensues. Things are going to get rough, confused, and furious. Good luck. The fleets are U.S. 1940 tech, unlock on, 3 battleships, 2 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers. Germany 1908 tech, 6 battleships, 6 light cruisers, 12 destroyers, 12 torpedo boats. You shall design and play the American super battleship. In order to make this more interesting than just another super battleship mission, I will institute a few restrictions to keep it interesting. I'll write it like a construction order for cinematic purposes. Alright, so our construction order is for a Ohio-class battleship, and I've actually got a specific name in mind. Okay, so before we get into the build order for this ship, I have to diverge for just a second. Many of you have seen Army Chow Mein as the username. He's very active on this channel. He's often involved in the conversations over on Discord. He's often commenting on videos. Army Chow Mein asked me a while back if I would name a ship after a soldier that he lost over in Afghanistan. He was lost on the 1st of July, which is this week, and so we decided we would wait until this week to do this. So in honor of that young man who gave his life for his country, his name is Andrew Creighton, we're going to name this ship the Andrew Creighton, which is perfect for an American ship. And we'll dedicate this not only to him, but to all who have given their lives in service of their country. So this is for you, Andrew. Alright, so here's the build order. U.S. Navy requests the Naval Yard in Norfolk, Virginia to begin construction of the Ohio class of advanced battleships for the U.S. Navy and its interest at sea. The ship is to be constructed with a hull length of around 1,200 feet and a displacement in excess of 100,000 tons. It must also be built to the following specific specifications. Okay, so 116,000 tons gets us a ship that is, and it's hard to see because of all these hulls down here, gets us a ship that's around 1,200 feet long, so that's going to be about where we need to be for this. And I'm not naming it Ohio class, but let's just say it's an Ohio class ship, and the Andrew Creighton happens to be the specific name of this one. In regards to speed maneuverability, the Office of Shipbuilding requests that you procure a hull capable of reaching a speed in excess of 33 knots, 36 highly preferred, but not a requirement. I don't know if we can go that high. I guess we can. So 36 will max it out right there. And utilize an advanced steam or diesel power plant system, including turbo-electric drives and the most advanced propelled shafts available. All right. So we'll go diesel. The most advanced propelled shafts available. We'll go oil. I think we'll probably have to do this as well. But let's read on. The ship must be able to making evasive action against torpedoes given forward warning and must maintain equipment capable of giving it such a warning. Well, that would be. We'll go with the highest available sonar station. In regards to firepower and armaments, the ship must mount several large caliber guns capable of overpowering any opponent they meet. These guns must have the best possible rate of fire and must be capable of hitting ships at a long distance with accuracy. In addition to that, it must also mount a capable secondary battery capable of engaging multiple light units at varying ranges. And then it goes into detail about that. But let's go ahead and take a look at the main guns. So we want a good rate of fire, we want accuracy, but we don't have to have the biggest guns possible. And the reason why is that we're going up against 1908 technology. We don't need to have the absolute biggest guns to take them out at range. So let's go something that's going to give us a decent rate of fire. There's a big drop between 15 and 16-inch guns when it comes to rate of fire. You can see that 73 seconds is the base reload time. It's only 55 for the 15s. I'm feeling 15s are the way we want to go. You drop another 6 seconds off of that if you go to 2 barrels instead of 3. So I think that's what we're going to do. And then we're just going to get as many of those going as we can. It feels like a good way to go. So that's going to give us a total of 10 of those 15-inch guns. We do need to get a funnel on here. In fact, we're probably going to need 2 funnels for the speed that we have on this thing. The good news is that's certainly possible. Let's see where we're at. We're only at 61% engine efficiency right now. So we're going to have to... What if we go to balance? That only drops us. That drops us to 50. So we may not be able to go with the speed that we have. Although that doesn't even get us where we need to be either. Okay, it's not ideal. They're a little cramped in here, but it looks like they'll have a decent amount of turning ability. These turrets on the back. So we needed to add a third super funnel large in order to get that 100% engine efficiency at 35.5 knots. So there we have that. Now let's talk about secondary guns. It says a large caliber secondary or supplemental main battery that is capable of engaging mid-sized targets at their normal fighting ranges or smaller targets out of range of lighter batteries. Such guns do not need to be numerous but should be effective against any warship and that should stray inside of about 10 to 15 kilometers. So let's take a look at some larger secondaries, 8-inch guns, for example. We'll definitely be able to throw some of those right here on the sides. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we're going to get into our smaller secondaries capable of dealing with some of the other targets that we're going to face. So we're going to go down to, say, I think it actually limits me. It says a light battery of small guns, 3 to 5 inches in caliber, which can fit into the smaller slots in the superstructure and be used as a last-ditch resort, a short-range weapon against small boats, and as a long-range weapon against aircraft, zeppelins, and other targets. So let's go ahead and get a bunch of these 5-inch guns going. We're certainly going to need them against the torpedo boats and the destroyers that we're going to be facing. Okay, they also requested 2 or 3-inch anti-aircraft guns. Obviously, there's no aircraft in this game, but you can still understand why those would be something that would be placed on a ship in real life at this time in this place. So we're going to go ahead and throw a bunch of those 3-inch guns around the ship. There you have it. They'll probably be firing on some of those smaller ships. And then protection. In order to ensure that the battleship is able to fight at all ranges, we request that you implement an armor scheme consisting of a large number of heavily reinforced bulkheads, barbettes, and magazines. We would also request that you implement at least a 24-18 8-inch turret belt deck armor scheme consisting of advanced Krupp armor material. The other thing that's requested is that we have a long range on this thing. In keeping with the fact that it's kind of silly to expect that we would be sending an American ship across the ocean with a medium or short range on it. So just to kind of keep it accurate, we're going to be close on weight here with a few things. I think we're going to want to have radar for sure. It didn't say anything about radar. We'll go Gen 1 radar. We certainly need a rangefinder, and that's going to put us a little over on weight. So I'm going to drop the belt extended to get us down under. We've got 18 inches of belt, 8 inches of deck, 24 on turret, which is what was requested. All right, so we are ready to dive into this. I think I'm going to go with high TNT explosives. That actually drops our weight down a little bit. We don't have torpedoes on this thing. I can't remember if he mentioned that or not. Torpedo and anti-flooding protection must also take a higher priority than normal based on disturbing reports of Japanese torpedo boat swarm tactics and torpedo planes. Higher than everything except gun, belt, deck, and citadel armor. So that's obviously going to be something that we have to... Oh, we've got anti-torpedo too. We should be pretty good with that. Let's raise our anti-flood. No, we can't do that. See if we can raise the bulkheads up. Nope. I think we're going to stick with where we're at right now. Should be pretty good. All right, let's dive in and see what happens. All right, here we go. It'll be interesting to see how the system handles this. It's obviously not the biggest battle I've ever done, but it's certainly up there. So we've got the Connecticut, the Andrew Creighton, and the Nebraska. Those are our three ships. Let's get a good look at these things for the first time. I think they're going to have a really nice rate of fire. They're going to put a lot of shots out there all at once. I'm going to focus primarily on controlling the battleships. So we're going to allow the other ships to be on AI control. I have to remember that different games have different controls. I'm used to using the middle button for turning, and that obviously isn't how it works on this game. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get ourselves turned around because the smoke is in the north, so that's where the enemy is. Let's get a look at the rest of our ships. You can see our small escort force there. Okay, we've spotted the enemy, Connecticut in the lead. We're going to go ahead and slow down to get our accuracy going. We're also going to go ahead and... No, you know what? I think we'll keep a normal formation. Well, let's go tight for now. And then, as we get closer, we'll loosen it up because I'm a little concerned about if we stay on a normal formation, we're going to have an issue with torpedoes and not having a lot of room to maneuver. So what I want to do now is, now that I'm in range, I'm going to go ahead and start turning so I can get these rear turrets firing as well. You can see here we can't quite get these guns going. So we want to get them. They're so tight. Honestly, I might have been better off to just drop that middle one out, because then this rear one would have fired. Unless we go full broadside, which we might be able to do, honestly. With the advantage in technology that I have, I can probably go full broadside. Let's see what we can spot from here. He's coming straight at me. The old German technology. It's going to take a while for us to probably start zeroing in on some of these targets. He hasn't even spotted my battleships yet. That's kind of interesting. Or just can I not see them from here? I guess I can't really see what he's seeing. Or maybe that is what I'm seeing. You can certainly see the shells coming in. Look at that. And this is on double time. Could you imagine on regular speed how long it would take watching those come in? The flight time's just crazy. So he's coming straight at me. He's already close to about 24 kilometers. We're starting to turn now. North Carolina, Salt Lake City, Cambridge, and Quincy are the names of the ships, the escort ships. There we go. So now Connecticut should be able to get all 10 of her guns firing at once. Looks like we already landed a hit. A 9-inch from the heavy cruiser. Got 357 damage. The main thing is we need to keep them from closing, because if they get, I mean, they've got a massive number of ships, and it's going to be difficult to keep them all from getting close. But once they get in range for my... Well, let's look at the range, actually. I'm kind of curious to see what it is. So the range on our 3-inch guns is 7.7 kilometers. Our 5-inch is all the way out to 11.6 kilometers, and our 8-inch can go out to 15 kilometers. So he's actually very soon going to get into range for my larger secondary guns. So for now, we'll go ahead on a higher speed, but once we get in close, we're going to slow this down. We got another 9-inch hit. They got an overpen, actually, and we just got our first sinking. Looks like we got a 15-inch overpen for 4,300 damage on somebody. Nice hit. I have no idea what I sank. Looks like it might have been one of his cruisers. And it went down in a hurry. It's kind of hard to tell the difference between destroyers and torpedo boats in the 1908 technology. But I think that's actually the last year that Germany had torpedo boats, which is probably why he chose that year. with that number of ships, I'm expecting he'll score some hits. I'm curious to see whether he'll actually sink any of my ships. I just think maybe that's too much of a disparity. And I think I'm definitely going to go to HE, because I think 15-inch shells ought to be able to penetrate just fine with HE. We might be able to get some really nice explosions. He's going to get in range of our 5-inch guns now. So we'll start to see them opening up. Kind of surprised we haven't seen them fire yet. They might not have locked on a target. There they go. There has been an update to the game, by the way, and one of the things that they did was they have tweaked and improved the performance of the secondary guns, making them a little more accurate at close range, having them switch a little quicker to the greatest threat on the auto targeting. So we should see some improvements in that. We're just going to watch Andrew Creighton for a little while here, and we're just going to kind of stay right at broadside. I feel like I'm safe in doing so against older technology. Look at all this firepower, and I've got 3 of these battleships. Let's see what we do with these hits, though. We landed a 15-inch on one of his battleships and only did partial pen for 8.3 damage. So maybe we do need to go back to auto and let them shoot AP shells. Okay, there you got APs coming from the 15-inch guns now. We landed our first 5-inch from the battleship. So you can see so far the damage we've done. We've landed 25 hits for 5.8k damage. I don't think I've taken any. No, I haven't taken any damage from 159 hits. They're just really not penetrating. His torpedoes are going to be his best bet, but even that is going to be 1908 technology. But we'll see what happens when he gets in closer. Here's the Siegfried, one of his battleships. I'm going to go ahead and slow down to real time now. He's coming straight at me, which it looks like he can still fire with these couple of wing turrets here, but obviously can't fire with the rear. He's really limiting his firepower by coming at me, but he is protecting himself a little better. You can see a lot of my shots are being deflected or just partial penetration. Alright, these destroyers are coming straight at me over here. We've got to deal with them. Looks like we've got our own torpedoes in the water. A bunch of them right there. There's an 8-inch hit on one of his destroyers, and that might be enough. Nah, it's mostly just flooding in the front, so probably not. Connecticut's got 8-inch shells coming in. I don't know if any of them are going to land, though. Oh, it looks like he's firing on another ship now. If you have ideas for a custom battle, I want to try and get into a regular schedule of making these every other day again. I've been getting away from this game a little bit because it was kind of boring waiting for a campaign, but I like some of the ideas that I'm seeing with the custom battles. The best place to make sure I see it would be to go to Discord and send me a private message, which you're welcome to do. That's the best place for me to keep track of those, because sometimes when they get put into the comments on a video, I forget to go back and check them because I make so many videos in between. But with the private messages on Discord, it's easy for me to see. Now, I know some of you don't have Discord, so if you want to leave it as a private message, or if you want to send me an email, thehistoryguy25@gmail.com, you can do that, and I'll try to print those out and remember those. We're going to do a lot of custom battles in the weeks ahead, so please feel free to send those to me. I do read all of them. I apologize in advance if I don't get to all of them. I know a lot of you put a lot of thought and creativity into these, and I really do appreciate it, even if I don't have the chance to get to every single one of them. Oh, nice hit. Yeah, I don't know that he's gonna really be able to cause a lot of damage on me with the difference in technology. Because he's getting in close now, and he's really not even doing anything to my escort ships. Right now we're really just taking out his destroyers, though. I'm looking to see where those destroyers' torpedoes are. He has caused a tiny bit of damage from 9-inch guns. Is that really the biggest he has? It probably is. Here's the Kaiser. Yeah, he's only got 9-inch guns. There is zero chance that he can take out my battleships with 9-inch guns. I'm not even sure he's going to be able to take out some of my smaller ships. Well, he should be able to take out the light cruisers. We're coming in close to him now, though, and this is not the way we want to do this if it was a real threat. You can see even my heavy cruisers at this time have 9-inch guns, and they've got 12-inch armor, so he may have a hard time with those. Torpedoes may be his best bet. And he's got a lot of torpedo boats, but they haven't even gotten in close enough to fire at me yet. Let's go head back up to double time. North Carolina just put a couple torpedoes in the water. There goes a torpedo boat. Just gonna watch from here for a minute. It's so quiet at the moment over here. It won't be in a second, though. Oh. I want to do that in real time, though. So let's do it in real time this time. We'll watch from the bow. From the stern, what am I saying, bow? Alright, here come the big guns. Even our 2-inch are hitting for some damage on the destroyers. Oh, yeah. And you can see here, and I don't know if this is new or if I just never noticed it before. You can actually see over here on the right what they are targeting with the various guns. Now it's interesting that we're targeting torpedo boats with the big guns. That seems like a waste to me. So I'm going to actually repurpose, put these big guns firing on the battleships. That seems to make a lot more sense. So Shift Alt and right click is how you do that. So we'll get the big guns firing on the battleships. We'll let the 8-inch and the 5-inch deal with the torpedo boats and destroyers. He's also got some torpedoes coming his way, the Siegfried does. And I'm not so sure that he's going to avoid all of those. Be interesting to see. There's 1940s technology torpedoes can probably do some major damage to a 1908 battleship. Let's find out, because he's going to take at least 3 of them. I think these are going to sink him. That's a nice shot by my cruisers. Oh, yeah. That was an ammo detonation. That was beautiful. Nice job. One of our light cruisers took out a battleship We got a flash fire to boot. Nice. Yes. Oh, I love these flash fires. That was cool. That was really cool. Interesting, it's not really going down yet. It's mostly just damage. It hasn't taken on all the water yet, but it's starting to. We're going to stick around and watch this for a few minutes. Yeah, he really hasn't taken on a lot of water yet. You can see they're still at 89%. Wow. You can see the bubbles, so you know it's going down. That's kind of cool, actually. The ship was destroyed, but it hasn't quite sunk. And that's, that was sometimes the case. A lot of times they would end up scuttling their own ships because the ships weren't savable, but they also weren't sinking. There she goes. If anyone survived the explosions, they had plenty of time to get off the ship. Alright, so that one's done. Let's go back to our battleships and see. Now they're back to targeting destroyers with their smaller... Oh, I don't know. Where's the Andrew Creighton going? Oh, they were probably avoiding torpedoes, it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and put them on AI as well, and we'll just watch the action at this point. So here's where we're at. We've caused 5 ammo detonations. We've taken 33 hits for a total of 128 damage. The reality is just that the disparity in technology makes it nearly impossible for him to do anything to me, no matter how many ships he has. So I'd be kind of curious to go back and do this same mission, but raise the technology to say 1920, maybe switch those torpedo boats to additional destroyers. They might actually then have a chance. But let's go ahead and skip ahead and see what happens. Okay, so we just took out 2 more of his battleships pretty much simultaneously, the Braunschweig and the König Albert. They've both gone down pretty fast. So this one's pretty much over. It's just a matter of taking out the ships that are left. He's still, I've caused 65,000 damage with 820 hits. He's got 102 hits, but just 277 damage. And that's for all of the ships that he has. So there's really just no way he wins this. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up right here. As I said, please throw me your ideas for custom battles. You can best do that through a private message on Discord, but you can do that through email. You can leave a comment on this video. You could send me an email through thehistoryguy25@gmail.com. Certainly would love to hear your ideas. Looks like Andrew Creighton's about to run right into the Connecticut right here. They're running right alongside her, so that's kind of interesting. But please, if you would, drop a like, leave a comment, watch the entire video whenever you watch one of my videos. Those things help tremendously in supporting this channel. You can also support through Patreon. I've got some new ideas coming down the pike for Patreon, some new ways to get patrons involved with some of the videos that are going on, so be watching for those things if you are one of those supporters. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.